Okay, Rod, so a 2-1 win against Hungerford at home today. We progressed to the Buildbase FA Trophy, first round proper for the first time in 2 years. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, I'm just delighted to obviously get a win and get a win at home. It was tough. We made it tough, which is what we try and explain to the boys. We've got I felt first half we were good, and then give away a sloppy goal, which is, to me, preventable, I've got to say. And then obviously it's game on. To be fair to Hungerford, they're young, they were brave in possession, and they really asked a question of us. And they could have nearly got nicked to draw with a penalty. So we have to sort of give credit to Sam Howes. Obviously he didn't have the best of the week last week, but he made up for it today for sure. I'm not saying the goals was his fault last week, but he certainly made up for that, and that do him no harm. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't that, it's possibly a replay on Tuesday, which, it's tough to go Hungerford any time of the season. So to go up there next Tuesday would have been really tough. So listen, we got over the line. We know where we are. We know what we need to do to try and make us better. And, we've been working really hard this week. So, we've got to be better as a unit. That the performance second half, and they're taking nothing away from Hungerford. They matched us, and I'd be expecting to be at home and seeing us, not being funny, sort of beating the likes of Hungerford, for maybe a couple of goal margin. But they've come away from here today with a good performance, and they've made it tough for us. But fortunately, we're the ones in the act.
You brought in the likes of Ben Warman and Aaron Drew on loans, respectively, from Cambridge and QPR. What do you think they can add to the squad?
Well, obviously, listen, we are a little bit low on numbers and whatever, and we have to look at that. We've only got really two centre halves, and Elliot plays right back, so we want to make sure that we've got covering right back. We do want to play slightly different with our right backs as well, because obviously Elliot's been great, but we want to be a little bit more, exciting down the wides. But Elliot's a good centre half as well, so that brings competition in there. And Ben, as you see when he come on, he can handle a ball, and he's in and around the first team at Cambridge. They've been good enough to let him out. But welcome to men's football. It's tough for these youngsters because, as you've seen over the previous weeks, Knowlesy's been clattered 2 or 3 times. Ben's been clattered again here a couple of times today. So it's a good learning curve for him, and no doubt Aaron will be getting his chance. But very difficult for us. Aaron only come in yesterday, which was a bit unfortunate. We couldn't see him in training or anything like that. So, it was a gamble for me today. For the fact is that, we needed to go through here today, and that's taking nothing away from Aaron. But it's hard when you didn't just put people, when you just play people and you haven't really seen them. So I didn't take that risk. I stuck with the ones that we knew. We changed the system today, and I thought first half it was good. As I said, did we work their goalkeeper enough? No, we haven't. I think we've allowed the game second half purely on the back of conceding to turn into a battle. And, we can battle, we can, but I've got to say, we need to be a little bit more fluent for me. We need to, pass the ball better. We need it to stick in areas better. We need people to create more chances. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, we probably lacked a little bit of flair in there today, if I'm being honest, but we made up for it in endeavour. And, if you said to me now, well, you could have, played really well here today, Rob, but you've got to go back to Hungerford on Tuesday or you're out of the cup. Where I am at the minute, we have to take this result. And, obviously the crowd was low today, but I know there's a lot of reasons for that. It's a paying gate today more than season ticket holders, and it's getting near Christmas, and obviously some would probably want us to start getting back to winning ways before they want to come back, so you get that. So the atmosphere wasn't the best here today, if I'm being honest. Wasn't the biggest crowd that we've had all season, but the boys have had to go out there and adapt to that. And yeah, as I say, I was disappointed when we conceded the penalty, because I thought it was another ball in the channel that, Dave Winfield, all due respect, should clear his lines better and anticipated. But their lad's been brave, and he's got in there and he's got the penalty. And this is what I say to my forwards at times, do we make it hard enough for defenders to clear their lines? And that was a prime example there, that they won a penalty out of just hard work. So that's certain things that we need to look at and whatever. But listen, we're in the act, and as far as I'm concerned, cup ties and points will always come before performances, and that's just football, unfortunately. As I said to the boys today, I was listening to the Tottenham game on the way up, and it sounded like we was really good in one half, and it sounds like West Ham nearly pulled it back again in the second half. So, you know, it happens at all levels. But for me, for the club, you know, I don't know how much the thing is, but there's a little bit of extra money in the coffers, and we're in the draw for the next round. As you say, it's the first time in 2 years, so not bad when you just got to win one game and be in the first round proper or whatever it is. But listen, for me, you know, it's just yeah, I think we can improve. We need to improve. But on today's performance, we'll take the cup tie, and you know, we'll be happy to wait for the draw.
And you gave Tom Knowles his first start at Melbourne Park this afternoon, and he got a goal in the first 5 minutes. That can only do his confidence the world of good.
Yeah, I mean, I felt when we controlled the ball well, the likes of, you know, Tom Knowles, who's not he's not a physical specimen. He's a footballer, and he's got good pace, and he scored his goal purely through that. I felt when it went to a battle, you know, Tom's not going to be the sort that's going to go out there and put a battle on. So we put Ben on, who's probably got a little bit more of that in his locker. But we've had to work the game today. We did go back to, you know, we had to bring Chrissy Gregan on and go back to a back four to try and shore the game out, because the way that the game was going, it was nip and tuck, and we had to protect the goal that we had as an advantage. So, you know, me and Nick just said, well, look, let's go back to a thing. But I am demanding more from these players, and, you know, some of them will handle it, you know, and be able to understand what I want. And some of them will probably find that, you know, sometimes as a manager, of course I'm over the moon with the result, but I'm not over the moon with the second half performance, because I think we made our work of it. So that's the bit where the players have to understand, yes, I'm about the result 100%, but I did feel today if we hadn't conceded the second goal, you know, we could have been standing here and saying what a very good performance, and we won 3-0. But in the end, we're talking about, you know, a good work rate performance, and we won 2-1 with a penalty save. It could have been 2-2. So, you know, listen, there's still lots to do in there. And as I say, but the positives are, I thought the boy Waterman come on and done well. Robbie Simpson was good to come back. I thought he was a good foil for taking Ego off. He held it up. He worked quite hard for us. We had to go to a one up there, but he, you know, showed that he's hopefully on his way back. Leroy Lita was cup tied today, and, you know, so on and so on. So yeah, it is work in progress, and for whatever reason, it seems to be a tough season. But listen, sometimes in football you just need to get a win anyhow. And can we take that into next week's performance? Well, you know, we've got now. I think we play St Albans, and then we come back here again against Hungerford. So, you know, there's an opportunity there for us to sort of turn the corner and try and get a couple of wins. You know, back-to-back wins is what we got to do. And once you get a couple of back-to-back wins, maybe one or two signings that are probably a bit more well known to this level, then, you know, we may be able to sort of kick on from there. But that's what I'm aiming to do. So I'm not resting on my laurels. I'm not sitting here, and, you know, there will be a bit of movement, I would think, you know, in the next couple of weeks. But that's only to try and make us stronger. Because, as I say, you know, the two operations ain't going to be back anytime soon. Mickey Splain might be back hopefully soon, maybe in a couple of 3 weeks, which is soon for that type of injury. And as I say, Robbie showed his face today, and obviously, as we all know, Billy Knott was suspended for 3 matches. So I'm just over the moon to get the result, and as I always say, performances don't come close to getting the results for me. And but I know that I want to improve on that side as well.